is here in the Father's kingdom. It was there for me. You took me, and you washed away my sins. You washed away my sins.
You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good morning, ladies, gentlemen, theys, and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your humble host, Hunter, here. Happy Monday. Happy start to your week. I hope you're having a good one. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're doing well. This is your humble host, Hunter, as I mentioned. But hi, Lizzie, already giving me shit. Yeah, inbox. I know you're trouble. That's why we get along so well already. Like I said, y'all, hope you're having a good start to your week. So we're here to talk about the Oscars. The Oscars for last night. Hosted, of course, by one of my comedy heroes and Mr. Conan O'Brien. The 90. Oh God, what Oscar was it? Like the 90? Was it 95th? I think it was 95th. 95th. Oh no, wait. 97th. Pardon me, 97th. 97th Academy Awards. Pardon me. So, okay. Let's get the good out of the way first. I think Conan O'Brien. I think he was the perfect host for something like this. Conan's a pro. He's been doing this for years, hosting. He hosted the Golden Globes, if memory serves correctly. Like, he's hosted stuff before. He hosted the ESPYs years ago. Of course, Late Night of Conan O'Brien, The Tonight Show, Conan on TBS. Conan O'Brien hosting the Conan Needs a Friend. Like, one of the most credible people in the game right now. Like, if you need someone to go ahead and make sure your ship is running smoothly and get you some laughs, Conan is as good as anyone in the industry right now. And considering he just lost his parents within a couple days of each other, both parents, a couple months ago, and he's out doing this, like, I give him all the credit in the world for doing that. So, props to him on that. But had a really funny monologue. Had a great bit with Adam Sandler. Chalamet. Adam Sandler dressed like only Adam Sandler can. And honestly, that's probably the funniest Sandler has been in at least God, what was the last time Sandler made me laugh? When he was on SNL. So it's been a minute. But Sandler, he's been doing, shit movies and stuff, but it was actually cool to see him actually be funny and clearly having fun. Him and Conan have known each other for years. They work together on SNL. They have that rapport. He's been on his various shows multiple times. It was a really fun opening. Lizzie saying she loves SNL. SNL is kind of going through a resurgence right now in terms of I think the Weekend Update with Michael Shea and Colin Jost, I think that's the second best version, maybe the third best version of Weekend Update, because I think Colin Quinn was actually a very underrated host. Shout out to a Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn. But Conan did a great job. He had one Russia joke about Anora and about someone actually standing up to a Russian leader. That was a god tier joke. Like Trump's name was never said, but Conan did just enough to take his jabs. And look, I'll be the first to admit, as most of you know, my comedic style is a lot less subtle. It's more like the Hulk smashing through a building. I'm way more direct. Conan does tend to go the more, self-deprecating, subtle route. But the shots he took were very pointed, and he took a couple shots at Amelia Perez, which were talking about Carlos Sofia's what I can't remember what her last name is, Gascon, Garcon, whatever. Talking about her publicist. That was an amazing fucking joke. Conan had some bangers, and also I didn't realize until like halfway through the fucking show. I didn't realize that he actually that Nick Offerman was doing the hosting, or was the announcer for the Oscars. It took me like a bit. I was like, wait a minute, is that Nick Offerman? And I was like, oh shit, that is Nick Offerman. So that was actually really cool. The bring Nick Offerman back. He did a fantastic job. But as far as the winners, what we're gonna go through. So I'm gonna go through all of the winners first, and then I'll go back and I'll give my my thoughts. So of course this isn't in the ballot order, because why would you make it easier for me? So all right, let me see. God damn it, of course you would make this difficult. Okay, so original screenplay. I picked The Real Pain, and Nora ended up winning. For adapted screenplay, Conclave won. I had Sing Sing winning. For visual effects, again, why do you not have this? I picked Dune Part 2, and Dune Part 2 won. For live action short film, I picked The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent, and I'm Not a Robot one. For cinematography, we had I picked Dune Part 2, the brutalist one. For international feature film, I picked Flow, I'm Still Here one. For music, I picked Wicked, the brutalist one. For actor in a leading role, I picked Colm Domingo, Adrian Brody one. For directing, I picked Anora, and Anora won. And for actress in a leading role, I picked Mikey Madsen, and Mikey Madsen won. And for best picture, I picked Anora, and Anora won. So, to go through here, man, okay, so let's just get this out of the way. Fuck Zoe Saldana winning. I hated Zoe Saldana winning. It really honestly irritated me. Now, the writing was on the wall. Like, I think most of us were pretty much like, she's gonna fucking win. And as I was sitting there watching her win, like, like the SAG award and the gold, once she won the Golden Globe, I was kind of like, fuck, she's gonna win this, isn't she? Which, I just not a great feeling. What I will say, and it really is like the stark contrast between Zoe Saldana's win and Mikey Madsen's win for Best Actress. The whole circuit, and I'm going to get to this because I know someone's going to go like, well, she's dyslexic. I don't care. I will get to that in a moment. But Zoe Saldana throughout the whole awards circuit. So I went through, I watched her Golden Globe speech. I watched her SAG speech. I watched her, not BAFTA. There was, I think it was BAFTA. Let me look that up because now I'm actually kind of blanking. Amelia Perez wins. So yeah, she won. Yeah, so she won the Oscar. Obviously, she won the Golden Globe. She won the SAG award. So she won those, and I know there's a couple others that she won. I believe she won I believe she won the BAFTA. I feel like that's the other one. I'm probably Screen Actors Guild. I think that was the other one she won. So she had multiple award wins to get this speech down by the time she got to the Oscars. And bottom line, she did not mention the LGBTQ community. She did not mention the trans community. And it's just like, girl, if you're that dyslexic, bring a fucking cue card with bullet points. Like, people do that all the time. They had multiple people reaching to their fucking reaching into their pockets and shit to grab to grab their paper and figure out who they remind themselves of who need to be thanked. So I'm not giving her that out. And again, she's had the whole award circuit to get this shit down, to get her bullet points down onto who she needs to thank and who needs to be, praised and all that. The thing that kills me about that speech, and again, it's not just the fact she didn't recognize the LGBTQ community or the trans community. After she was interviewed about the film during the press, I want to make sure I get her. I'm quoting her. Let me see. Okay, so this is what she had to say about Amelia Perez. So rightfully so, there was a reporter who pressed her about the criticism that the film drew on how it depicts Mexico, because it depicts Mexico fucking terribly. So she rightfully so had someone ask. And so this is a quote she gave. "First of all, I'm very, very sorry that you and many Mexicans felt offended." Not a great start. Like, really, really not a great start at all. That was never our intention. She then added that Amelia Perez's team came from a place of love, and I will stand by that. Really now? That's, come on, y'all. So here's the thing. She continues with her speech. For me, the heart of this movie was not Mexico. We weren't making a film about a country. We were making a film about 4 women. And these women could have been Russian, could have been Jamaican, could have been Black, could have been from Detroit, could have been from Israel, could have been from Gaza. And these women are still very universal women that are struggling every day, but trying to survive systematic oppression and trying to find their most authentic voices. I'm always open to sit down with my Mexican brothers and sisters and with love and respect to have a great conversation of how Amelia Perez could have been better. I have no problem. I welcome it. Fuck off. Straight up. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. So look, I'm gonna be that person. When did this movie fucking come out? So Nina Simone. So y'all remember that shit? Remember how she played Nina Simone and she did the blackface? Do you remember that shit? You know that film has a 2% on Rotten Tomatoes, right? Like, I know Rotten Tomatoes is not gospel, but a 2%, like, goddamn, like, that's quite bad. So she does that, and then let me see what. So here's the thing. So after she said that, after this movie, Zoe Saldana said this years later. This would have been 2020, so like 5 years ago. She says, "I should have never played Nina. The leverage that I had 10 years ago was a different leverage, but it was leverage nonetheless. I should have done everything in my power to cast a Black woman to play an exceptional Black woman." Okay. Having initially turned down the role, Saldana faced sustained criticism when her casting was announced, including from Simone's daughter. In 2012, Simone Kelly told the New York Times that her mother was raised at a time when she was told her nose was too wide, her skin was too dark. Appearance-wise, this was not the best choice. At the time, Saldana refuted her critics, telling Allure magazine, "There's no one way." Oh, Jesus Christ, really? She said, "There's no one way to be Black. I'm black the way I know how to be. You have no idea who I am. I am black. I'm raising black men. Don't you ever think you can look at me and address me with such disdain. Now, of course, she's singing a different tune. She says Simone deserved better. I thought black then. I thought back then that I had the permission because I was a black woman, and I am. But it was Nina Simone, and Nina had a life and a journey that should be honored to the most specific detail. So, I'm going to tell y'all right now, she will be making one of those apologies in about 6 years to the trans community. And if not, she fucking should be. She really should be making that apology today, quite frankly, because at the end of the day, that film is so goddamn transphobic. It's so fucking transphobic. And Amelia Perez isn't even the goddamn main character. Her character is the main character. She's the protagonist in the shit. And watching that speech just made me sick to my fucking stomach, to be quite frank. And I know a lot of people will go, you know, what about Green Book? What about Crat? Like, I get it. I know the Oscars has gotten this shit wrong before. Trust me, I'm very aware. But what you can at least say is that Mahershala Ali is fucking incredible in Green Book. He deserved his Best Supporting Actor nom. If you want to tear the film apart from there, you know, feel free to. But he's incredible in the movie. Zoe Saldana, the musical, like Amelia Perez is a musical. By its definition, it is a fucking musical. Can you name one musical number in there that's good? I'm giving y'all time, because if you say El Mal, I'll throw something at you, because El Mal is a horrendous fucking song, and Zoe's rapping is, oh my god, like her rapping is so bad in it. And furthermore, and this is where my frustration just boils the fuck over. The fucking director, what's his name? Jacques Audiard. Yeah, that asshole. So, where's the quote? So flat out, in case you weren't aware, he flat out admitted that he didn't do much research on Mexico, before making the film, which, you know, that's great. Just fucking ridiculous. So they went ahead and he was on stage too. He could have said something about the trans community. It's his fucking movie. He could have said something about it, but he decided to not. So he did not. So this is what he said when he was asked about trans rights. He was speaking via an interpreter, but they said, like, hey, like, what about trans rights? This is a movie about trans women. He said, since I didn't win Best Film or Best Director, I didn't have an opportunity to speak. He was up there for original song. I would just like to point that shit out. What up, Afternoon Tune? But he, you know, he was on the Oscar stage. So he says, since I didn't win Best Film or Best Director, I didn't have the opportunity to speak. But had I had that opportunity, I would have spoken up and laughed as he stepped away from the mic. So I'm sorry, dude. You had that. He didn't care. He flat out didn't care. And it's insane to me how that is just really being that's just being swept on the rug. And he should be dragged for that. He should be flat out dragged for that shit. And it fucking irritates me so goddamn much, and it's so frustrating. And the thing is, like, Zoe's point about how it could have been, you know, about Russia, it could have been about, you know, black men or whatever, then put the shit in fucking Russia, put the shit in France. Why put the shit in Mexico if you don't know anything fucking about it, you asshole? Like, it's not hard. And look, let's call it what it is. Zoe Saldana pulled the Steve Carell. At this point, I think Zoe Saldana wanted that Oscar so goddamn bad, it didn't matter who she had to piss off or who she had to offend to get it. As long as she got the Oscar, that's what she cared about. So whatever, like, fuck all of us and fuck the trans community, apparently. Which sucks, man, because I know some people, and I saw some posts on on Blue Sky about it, you know, some trans people celebrating the fact that, yeah, Amelia Perez won a couple Oscars. That's so cool. And look, as someone who has been on a crusade against Tyler Perry, pretty much since the podcast started, I'm telling y'all, you don't want representation this way, because Tyler Perry representation actually sets your movement back. So I'm telling you, you do not want what Amelia Perez will potentially bring, because now a lot of studios are going to take this and kind of go, even if we get the controversy, even if we have to deal with all the public, the bad PR and all that, we might be able to squeeze an Oscar win. So I pray, I really, really pray that there are like trans women and trans men who saw what Amelia Perez did and went, oh, fuck that. I can do this way better. I'll show you. Let's do this. Because Amelia Perez is a flat out abomination. It's it's gross on just a musical level. It's flat out problematic and fucked when it comes to the trans community, and the fact that there are people in any way celebrating it. You're brain dead and you're dumb as fuck. There's no we'll agree to disagree. No, you're just fucking wrong. Amelia Perez is a dog shit movie, and the fact that the Academy nominated it and gave it wins, they should be ashamed of themselves. And Zoe Saldana, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I look forward to your apology 5 years from now. And here's the other thing, y'all. I was talking to a friend about this last night, and it was actually a really good conversation. We were talking about the whole like cancel culture thing and all that, and y'all know my feelings about it. I think it's bullshit. People need to learn. People need to be better. But also, we're so flippant on how we actually, enforce cancel culture, which is its own thing in itself. Anyways, Zoe Saldana's done this before with Nina Simone. I would really, honestly, earnestly hope that after that experience, she would be reading her scripts more closely. I got the box. I got a critic box for Amelia Perez, so it had like the soundtrack and like a screener and like the script in there. And I actually read the script before I threw it out because I didn't want that evil in our home. I actually read the script cover to cover, like the actual script, like an actual copy of the script. And I'm sitting there reading this. I'm like, even on the page, there's nothing about this that would make me go, oh my God, I have to audition for this. It's like, what did you see that made you think that this was in some way good? And I just keep coming back to the same conclusion that she saw the film for what it was, and it was Oscar bait. And it's really unfortunate because now this fucking director, Jock, is going to go ahead and just escape any real criticism because Oscar season's over. So now this shit will fade to the background. Zoe got her Oscar, so poo on us. They won, we lost. But it's one of these things that I'm just like, fuck off, man. It's so frustrating. And I know some people was going, oh, come on, you're being harsh. And nah, fam. It's fucking disgusting. And it fucking angers me that this shit got anything. Because some people use it for validation that it's good, and it's not. It's a dog shit movie, and it should have won anything. So from the bottom of my heart, Zoe Saldana, be better. Honestly, just be better. And I know that you'll go to Pandora, you'll go to outer space to literally avoid black men. I know that's your thing. I know you love running away from us, but as a black dude, with trans friends, I'm telling you, you royally fucked up. And I don't know if you have trans people. I was gonna say Carla, but you might want to distance yourself from her. I don't know if you just don't have trans people in your orbit, or if you're just that ignorant, or if you don't care, or maybe it's a combination of all three. Like maybe that's what it is. But girl, be better. Honestly, just be better. Yeah, that's all I got. As far as she's concerned. Continuing on, there were a couple really good speeches last night. Honora was the big winner, won Best Picture, leading actress, directing, and then what was the other one? Writing. Original script. Um, hell of a night for Nora. Shout out to Sean Baker. I've been a Sean Baker fan for a minute. I really liked Sean Baker. I really liked Red Rocket. I never reviewed it properly, but I thought Red Rocket was great. I thought Tangerine was great. Florida Project is well done. But I was really happy for Sean Baker. Huge night for him. And this is the contrast, because I went through and I watched Mikey Madison's BAFTA speech. Oh, damn. Watch her BAFTA speech and everything. And Mikey Madison has brought up the sex worker community in every speech in which she's won, where she was like, I want to continue to be an ally for the sex worker community, that you are loved, you deserve respect, I want to educate. That was something that she would always bring up at the end of her speeches, like to always make sure it was like the last thing that people heard. And she did the same thing last night. And I'm so happy for her. Like, after seeing her in Scream 5, where admittedly the fact that I was like, oh, you're a ghost face, I could change you. What does that say about me? But I thought she was so fucking badass in Scream 5, and I was so happy for her watching Nora. And the thing about the Oscar that I always like is that you get people, like when Lupita won for 12 Years a Slave, and it really felt like a launching pad for her. She gets Black Panther, she gets Wild Robot, she gets Little Monsters, she gets like she gets all these other films, and you're just like, oh wow, that's awesome. I feel the same thing is going to happen for Mikey Madison. I think her star is about to go into the stratosphere. I think she's going to get some amazing roles, and I'm really excited to see what her career looks like now moving forward, because she's an incredible actress, and she really does deserve all of the love that she's going to go ahead and get. But yeah, Sean Baker and everyone, they deserved all the love and the acclaim that they got. And it was a top 3 film for me. Anora, I absolutely thought Anora was fucking fantastic. So really happy for Sean Baker. It's a great win for indie film. They talked about the fact that the film was made for like $6 million, and they like shot on location, and how kind of intense it was. But yeah, hell yeah to Anora, and just hell yeah to everyone involved. So happy for the win, so happy for them. Ugh, pardon me, but just fantastic all around. Going through the other awards here real quick. I'm not gonna take too long, but let me take a look. There, sip my coffee here. They had a James Bond melody, which I actually thought was pretty cool. They had they had oh god, I'm blanking on the girls. Not was it Dua Lipa? Yeah, Dua Lipa sang Skyfall, which I thought she actually did a good job. But like the issue is that it's Adele, it's Billie Eilish, like you like it's definitely steps down, and I don't know if they just weren't in the budget. I don't know if they were doing something. I don't know what the issue was, but yeah, not having the actual people there was kind of like, this feels like, like bad covers. I thought they did a good job, but it was definitely noticeable that they weren't, Adele or Billie Eilish, 2 of the best singers we have in the game right now. But I thought the melody was actually cool, and we need more of that. I don't know if that's a Conan thing or if that's a Academy thing, but I really have missed a lot of like the musical numbers and like the pageantry aspect, because this is a celebration of the best films of the year in theory. So there should be more of that pageantry. There should be more of that that schmooze, that pizzazz. Like there should be more of that. So I was actually really happy to see that. It was actually a very nice, like, I was like, hell yeah, like, let's go. So it was a nice break also. enjoy that, people, because that might be the closest you get to the Bond that you know and love. Because Amazon could potentially fuck the franchise up with the next moves they make. So just remember you have this melody that you can always go back to if you ever want to get that warm feeling again. Because yeah, depending on what they do, you may not get that feeling for a while. But we'll see. So I'll just say right now, for me, I stand by the fact that, so I did watch The Apprentice. I did think Sebastian Stan did a great job. I just can't accept anyone winning award for even playing Trump. That's just something that makes me want to throw up in my mouth. I thought Ray Fiennes was great in Conclave. Coleman Domingo for me was the best acting performance all last year, and I don't think it's even particularly close. I did not see A Complete Unknown, so I have to put that caveat out there. But I was literally pulling for anyone but Adrian Brody, because he basically did the same thing he did in The Pianist in The Brutalist, and that's before I tell you that they needed the help of AI with his fucking accent. So Adrian Brody does win, which again made me very upset, and then goes on to have a 5-minute and 40-second long speech, the longest speech in the history of the Oscars. I looked that up. The longest speech in the history of the Oscars. Furthermore, the speech went on so long that if you were watching on Hulu like I was, you fucking lost the feed. The feed cut off early before they went ahead and announced Best Actress and Best Picture. So to actually see the goddamn speeches, I had to go on YouTube. Which, what the fuck, Hulu? How do you not do like a plan for like 10 minutes for an overrun? You morons! Are you fucking kidding me? And look, I've criticized Disney, I've praised Disney, but Disney should be fucking dragged for this, because I would have, in my head, I would have planned for a 10-minute overrun, at least give them the fucking Oscars and give them some of these speeches, and how some of these people love to talk. Like I was flabbergasted that no one thought to plan ahead on that front, and it really did piss me off, because it's like, I'm sorry, I expected to watch this from beginning to end. I didn't expect to watch some of the fucking Oscars. I expected to watch all the fucking Oscars. So absolutely hated that. And Disney and Hulu are rightfully so getting dragged for it, and they should be getting dragged, because it was absolute shit. Fucking hated that. Drove me nuts. Hated it. But yeah, I've been in the same camp that I've been in since I saw The Brutalist in November, or December. December is when I watched it. That's a very good film. It's way too fucking long. You could have cut the shit down to like 2 hours 45, and it actually would have been better and better paced. I think Felicity Jones's best acting performance in that, then Guy Pearce, then Adrian Brody. But I hated that speech, and the fact that he had the nerve to go, "Oh, I've been up here before. I know how this works." It's like, clearly you don't, motherfucker, because you could have dropped the ring in a volcano with how long that speech fucking was. I actually queued up because I was curious. The Temptations, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, Papa Was a Rolling Stone, and played the instrumental, and the instrumental is a solid like minute 55. He was still fucking going and like barely getting to the meat of his speech by the time the fucking instrumental was over. It's like, holy shit, like, come on, man. So nah, man, I don't want to hear anything about Adrian Brody. Like, I know some people are like, The Brutalist is great, and I'm sorry, y'all. Like, it's a good movie. Like, I gave it a B- or a B. I can't remember which. It was one of the two. But I stand by that grade, and I actually watched it twice. So, yeah, it's a good film, not in any way deserving of what I think it won. I think Sing Sing got absolutely screwed this year. What a shocker. The black film not getting love. I think Sing Sing and Nickel Boys really should have gotten more. The fact that Amelia Perez was up for Best Picture and Sing Sing wasn't is such a crock of shit. Like, that is something that irritates me and pisses me off to no goddamn end. Because if that was up for Best Picture, I would have said it should have gone to Sing Sing instead of Nora. But that's like a razor thin margin for me, because I had Sing Sing as my favorite film of the year. I had Nora at 3. Flow was at 2, by the way. Which, speaking of, that was probably my favorite award win of the night. I love Mikey Madison. I mean, gorgeous, charming, ally. Just, she seems wonderful. But so seeing how often Disney has just had a fucking vice grip on this award, even when they don't deserve to win, has been something that's genuinely angered me throughout award season. It really does bother me how often Disney seems to have won that award. So to see this movie from Latvia, this small budget film go ahead and win just did my heart good. It made me so happy, and I honestly cried. I was so happy for Flo. As I mentioned in my review, Milo sat on my lap the whole time in my recliner and turned to face the TV and watched it the whole time. He was enthralled and he was so happy, and that's one of my favorite experiences, like one of my favorite movie watching experiences in a minute. And it just made me so happy that happened. And I love that movie, and I was so happy for everyone who worked on Flow. Y'all deserved it. Y'all absolutely deserved it, and it deserves all the love. Yeah, so really happy for Flow. I wish it would have won for international feature film too. I wish it would have gotten the twofer, but I've heard that I'm Still Here is fantastic. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm really happy that it did win. The other thing I wanted to bring up, where is it? Yeah, this one. No Other Land winning was the speech of the night. That was genuinely the speech of the night. So the two men, the people who made it. So it's Rachel Zor. I'm gonna butcher his name. I'm so sorry. Hamdan Bilal, Basil Adra, and then Yuval Abraham went ahead and accepted the award. And that's a joint Israeli-Palestinian team who went ahead and made the film. And their speech, holy fuck! You want to talk about using your platform, like everything Amelia Perez didn't do, which is just another reason why those wins piss me off so bad. But hearing them talk about it, and Adra said that the film reflects the harsh reality that we've been suffering for decades, which I'm happy he said decades and not like the last couple years, because some people would be ignorant enough to think like it's been sunshine and rainbows over there for forever. But I love the fact he said for decades, and a reality that continues until today, and we call on the world to take concrete steps to end this justice. And then Abraham said that called for the end of the terrible destruction of Gaza and the release of Israeli soldiers. And then they said, we created this film together, Palestinians and Israelis, because together our voices are stronger. It brought the show down. It brought the house down. I thought it was just a masterclass in how you use your platform for good, and how you actually go ahead and have a collective good. And then the last, let me see. Let me continue here because I want to keep saying. Instead of presenting the complexity of an Israeli reality, the filmmakers chose to amplify narratives. Wait, who said that? Israel's Minister of Culture and Sports. Okay, yeah, I'm not reading your bullshit. They had the nerve to say the film's Oscar win, it was a sad moment for the world of cinema. Get the fuck out of here if you're bullshit. As a new father, Adra went ahead and said that he hopes that his daughter won't have to live the life that I'm living now. Always anxious, fearing home demolitions, settler violence, and the threat of forced displacement that we in Menisfer Yada face every day living under Israeli occupation. When I look at Basil, I see my brother, but we are not equal. We live under a regime where I enjoy freedom under civil law and where he's governed by military laws. Fuck yeah. That's how you use your platform. That's how you make a fucking statement. That's how you speak without fear. And I just, beautifully done, gentlemen. Beautifully, genuinely done. Free Palestine. Oh man, I got chills watching that speech. I could not believe that. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Going through the rest of the nominees real quick. As I mentioned, Flow won for Best Animated Film, animated short film, In the Shadow of the Cypress won, costume design, Paul Tazwell, the first black man ever to win for costume design, which is fucking ridiculous. As much swagger as black people have, as great as we are with clothes, you're telling me that's the first fucking time in 97 goddamn years that a black person has won for and you wonder why black people are always trying to champion ourselves. Like, this is why, because shit like this occurs. 97 years, 1 out of 97. Anyways, as I mentioned, Anora won for original screenplay. Conclave won for adapted screenplay. Definitely check out Conclave. It's on Peacock right now. It's definitely worth your time. Conclave is fucking great. Makeup and hairstyling, The Substance won, as well deserved to. The Substance was fucking insane with its makeup. Anora won for film editing. Zoe Saldana won for production design for Wicked. I have no issue with that. Wicked's production design is absolutely gorgeous. Thought I should have went to Nosferatu, but you know, what are you gonna do? El Mal won. Fuck out of here. The Only Girl in the Orchestra won for documentary short. But Dune Part 2 won for best sound, as well as it should have, as well as for visual effects. I Am Not a Robot won for live action short film. Cinematography was for The Brutalist, and then I'm Still Here for international feature. Brutalist won for score, and I've mentioned the other ones. And then I did want to shout out Kieran Culkin, who went ahead and won for Real Pain. I will say, I really liked Kieran Culkin in Real Pain. I thought he did a great job. I thought he did a fantastic job, actually. With that said, that award should have gone to Clarence Macklin from Sing Sing. He was god tier in that fucking movie. If you have not seen Sing Sing, once you see him in that, you're gonna go, oh yeah, I see what Hunter's talking about. I love Kieran Culkin. I'd like to see him stretch out a little more and not just play the eccentric guy who cusses a lot. He's getting a little Jason Mantzoukas-y for my taste, so I'd like to see him stretch a little bit. But him and Eisenberg's chemistry, you can't deny it. So I was really happy to see him win. But yeah, let's expand a little bit. Let's stretch a little bit. But yeah, I as far as other stuff, yeah, the Oscars ending early was was pretty shit. I don't know if Hulu will get the rights next year. If they do, they need to fucking plan better. It'll be interesting to see who comes to host next year, because Conan could do it again. Like, I know Jimmy Kimmel did it 3 or 4 times, but I really, but I thought Conan did a really good job of keeping the show at a good pace. He kept the show moving. Obviously the show was just fucking long, like it's over 3 hours, but I thought Conan did a good job with the pacing and everything, and I really enjoyed myself. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it. But you should definitely there are several of the winners you should check. So I will tell you, Anora, I believe, is streaming on Hulu on the 17th. I think it starts. Let me see. I think that's when it's going to start streaming. So I know you can rent it right now, but yeah, so it's going to be streamed on Hulu starting March 17th. So yeah, so I definitely recommend checking it out then. If you don't want to wait, you can just rent it. It's like $6 right now. Flow is on HBO Max. You can stream that there right now. Conclave is on Peacock, as I mentioned. You can't stream A Complete Unknown yet. Wicked is going to be hitting Peacock, I think, on the 21st. So the 21st or 23rd. So that will be hitting there. Nosferatu, which is definitely worth your time. That's on Peacock right now. The extended edition is on there. Dune Part 2 is streaming on HBO Max. Oh gosh, what else is it? Oh yeah, Real Pain. That's streaming on Hulu right now. You can check that out. So yeah, there's some good places to go ahead and stream this stuff. So I would definitely recommend checking all those out. Sing Sing you can't stream yet, but you should just rent that. If you have a Mubi subscription, you can watch The Substance. I believe they are still doing like a 7-day trial, so you can go ahead and check it out there. What else? I the only thing, like the documentaries, I feel like those will probably hit like Hulu, because Hulu tends to grab the documentaries. But yeah, I thought it was a really good Oscars. I really do hope as we head into this new, film cycle, because last night's kind of is like the end of last year, so now we can start looking forward to this year and what's coming out for the rest of the year. So I'm excited to see what we got moving forward, what's going to come out, what could potentially be contenders and all that. But I'm very happy to leave this past Oscar season behind, because I think not just with Trump getting elected, I do think that a lot more people, including myself, thought we'd be in a much happier space in terms of right now, instead of that asshole being our president. But here we are, unfortunately. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what we get film wise moving forward, and what moves the needle in terms of potential Oscar contenders. So yeah, we will have to stay tuned and tune in for the rest of the year and kind of see how it shakes down. But yeah, y'all. So what did you think about the Oscars? Let me know in the comments. So as far as what I've got coming up for the rest of the week, yeah, I'm gonna be taking it pretty easy. I'm gonna be doing a review for Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man this week. I'm still figuring out when, so stay tuned for that. And then I will be doing a review of the first 2 episodes of Daredevil Born Again. Probably be doing that on Wednesday. And then after that, y'all, I think I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take a break probably for the rest of the month, at least as far as streams. I've got some reviews that are sitting in the vault that I'm like, I should do some spring cleaning on these. So I'm going to get some reviews uploaded for y'all. But as far as streams, I will probably be done until April. So just be aware of that. If anything changes, obviously I'll post about it on my socials. So, but yeah, I need a break. I haven't given myself a break in a minute, and I deserve a break. God damn it! So I'm gonna take a break. So, but everyone, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, let me know what you thought of the Oscars. You can check out the podcast. Pretty much, please go ahead and rate the podcast 5 stars. It definitely helps me out. You can find the show pretty much wherever you listen to podcasts: SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneUp, and Samsung Podcasts, to name a few. You can go ahead and follow me on TikTok and IG at JHunter Real Pineapple. That's JHunter and then REEL and then Pineapple. You can find me on Letterboxd at Black Shazam. You can follow me on like the pages on Facebook at The Real Pineapple and Real Pineapple Games. And then, oh God, I know I'm forgetting one. Oh, Blue Sky. Follow me on Blue Sky. I'm actually quite active on there at Real Pineapple, REEL Pineapple .bsky.social. Thank you so much again, y'all, for tuning in. Like I said, I'll be reviewing the first couple episodes of Daredevil Born Again. Probably review that on Wednesday. I will get a review up from Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur at some point. We reviewed season 2, part 1 already. We need to review season 2, part B, since that just came out a couple weeks ago. But I'll have some reviews up for y'all throughout March, even though I won't be streaming. So just keep an eye out for those. But everyone, thank you so much for listening. Stay safe. Take care of each other. Give someone a hug. Give someone a compliment. We can all use some more positivity. And never forget, as always, to keep it real. Thank you so much, y'all. And I will talk to you on Wednesday. Cheers.